Okay, I have a powerful shuffle to show you today that I don't believe I've really demonstrated and shown how unusual this shuffle is. It's the only shuffle that I'm aware of that will cycle through the three primary structure types of a two-cycle, a mirrored structure, and an AMP. Okay, and so we're going to begin with a card routine, and then we'll go through and show you exactly what's going on and explain this alternate Klondike a bit more deeply. Okay, so I have a deck of cards here, so let's go ahead and just shuffle them. So they're not in any particular order. Okay, very good. I don't know how many times we should shuffle. Maybe 3 times. Hopefully that's enough. Kind of randomize the cards here. Okay, and now I'm going to choose 2 prediction cards. Okay, and so I'll have to go off camera for just a moment to choose these cards, and then we can mix the cards after the selection of these prediction cards if you would like. Okay, so let me just go off the camera for a moment. Okay, this one, and maybe this one. Okay, so I have 2 prediction cards. Maybe I'll set them up there. Out of the way. Why don't we go ahead and I guess we can shuffle again. Okay, maybe just one more. We're spending all the time shuffling. Okay, very good. Now for this we actually need a total of 8 random cards. In fact, I can choose from different parts, 6, 7 of the deck. Okay, I think that's 8. Okay, so 8 random cards here. And what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and just demonstrate this alternate Klondike right off. We'll do it a number of times, so you'll see it in action. So what you do is let me back up here. I did that too fast. So the Klondike is where you take the top and bottom off as one, like that. Okay, and so you put one on the left. Do that again on the right, left, right. Okay. So that's why it's called alternate Klondike. You're going left, right, with random stacking decided by you or the spectator. You want right on left? Okay, very good. So from here we can give it a Chardonnay shuffle. I can add a link in the description below to all of these little shuffles here, especially the Chardonnay. We can even have you cut the cards at any location. Okay, and let's go ahead and perform this alternate Klondike second time. Okay, how would you like the stacking to go? The stacking to go this time. Want left on right? Okay, very good. We can deal into 2 piles. In fact, any of you want right on left? Any of you familiar with the stay stack principle at this point? Any shuffle stay stack principle, you want left on right? Will permit here you can perform. Okay, so I'll just do the left right to keep it simple. Right on left. Okay, and so let's do, I think it's our 3rd alternate Klondike random stack. You want left on right? I think that's what you did last time as well. Now we're going to do something called a Bessie 2-2, and this is one I haven't used a lot, but it's very useful. So you take the top 2 cards one at a time. 1, 2 from the top, 1, 2 from the bottom, 1, 2 from the top, 1, 2 from the bottom. That's the last one there. Okay, and then we'll do our 4th and final alternate Klondike. Left, right, random stacking. Want right on left? Okay. And then maybe we'll follow that up with a Chardonnay shuffle. And perhaps most importantly, you can cut the cards at any location and we'll complete the cut. Okay? Because that's going to determine the dealing out of the cards now. So I'm going to deal out the cards into 4 piles. Like you're dealing them out for 4 players or something. And at this point, we'll bring out the prediction over here. So I had a couple of prediction cards. See, what are they? Let's see, a red ace and a black ace. Ace of diamonds and ace of spades. Will we see kind of some connection between those and these pairs in any way? Yeah, we'll try this. Let's see. Well, one thing I see is interesting. There's a red and a black. So here, red, black. So that's kind of curious. What about this one here? Oh, well, we broke that pattern, if that was supposed to be the prediction. We got 2 reds. So I'm really not seeing any clear reason why these 2 cards would tell the future. Well, our final pair, we're hoping it comes to the rescue. Oh boy, I think it did. A black ace and a red ace. Ace of clubs and ace of hearts, making for a complete set of the 4 aces. Wow, how did you do that with the choices that you made along the way? Think about it. If you had stacked differently, if you had performed one more left-right shuffle than we did, if you had cut the packet in a different way, this wouldn't have worked out so amazingly. Okay, so what is going on here? Well, it's a very simple example of the alternate Klondike. So let me go ahead and bring out a write-up. Now don't be overwhelmed by this. Some of my readers won't be, but others might be a bit overwhelmed. Okay, so here's a write-up of kind of what's going on. Now, there's a big caveat I need you to be aware of. What I'm showing you to be true here will work as long as you have a multiple of 4 cards. Okay, so a multiple of 4. So you can have 4 cards. We had 8 here, 12, 16, 24, 28, 32, and so forth. Okay, so for this to be completely correct here, you do need a multiple of 4 cards. Okay, and so what I'm showing you, okay, so the AK stands for this alternate Klondike that I've actually demonstrated 4 times now as to how you perform it. And once again, it's the only shuffle that I am aware of that will cycle you through all of these 3 primary structures. There are some that will take you to 2 of them, but not the 3rd, or many of them just take you between 2 of them and won't work on the other 2 legs. Okay, this one will allow you to complete a full cycle around these structures. Okay, so where did we begin? Well, so let me just give you the setup really fast, and then you can do this right away. So I had the ace of clubs and ace of hearts at the top of the deck. That's what I had there. Let me set these aside for a second. Okay, so these were at the very, very top of the deck. Okay, just like that. And then I just retained them at the top through however many riffle shuffles. Now, it's not too difficult to retain 2 cards, the top 2 cards. Okay, a little bit of practice, you could always do that and never miss it. Okay, so there we go, they're still there. Okay, in addition to that, I have maybe obviously in the case of this video, I've marked, I think it's the ace of clubs. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little red dot there in the center. There's no red dot on these others. Same thing when you turn it. Little red dot there. Do you see that? Okay. So what that allows me to do at the very end is reveal the important pair, or like the finale. Okay. So that's how I knew where my important pair was when I had that 4 sets of pair at the end. Okay. So that really is the setup. And then these, I just pulled them out of the deck. They can be anywhere in the deck after shuffling. So I pulled these out as prediction cards. You don't show those, of course. Okay, so ace of spades, ace of diamonds, goes right there. Okay. And then once again, you can, oh, don't do that. I'm not concentrating here. Yeah, make sure you retain those 2 at the top. Okay. As we were doing before. Okay. Now, the thing to do here, we're going to need 8 cards. Spectator doesn't know where you're going with this. So what you do is you deal out the top 2 so that you're safe. And then say, well, we're going to need 8 cards altogether. So we'll take some from the middle, so 4 or 5. And some from lower down, 6, 7. And then 1 from near the bottom, 8. Okay, so your 2 important cards are already there. They're at the bottom. Let me just show you. I probably could see that in your mind's eye already. Okay, So there they are. Okay, so we're viewing this. In fact, it's the only way you can view it right now. We're viewing this as something called an AMP, adjacent mirrored pairs. So this is where you have pairs of cards from the top that are related or of interest or that you'd like to keep together as pairs. Okay. Now, in this case, we're only keeping together just this one pair. We don't care about the other cards. The other cards are truly random. We just care about the ace of clubs and the ace of hearts. Okay. So we're viewing it as this structure here. Okay. And so what I did was I did an alternate Klondike, where you go, I'll just do one of these. Okay. Alternate Klondike. Left, right, like that. Random stack, important. Now it's going to be, quote, a 2-cycle. Now below each of the names I have kind of like a quintessential representation. So for the AMP it's 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, showing that as pairs the cards are, quote, related. Now that it's cyclic, it's going to be something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I'll even show you that. So what that means then is that our cards of interest will be in the same position within the respective cycle. So here we have like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the ace of clubs, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. In that fourth position for the second cycle is the ace of hearts. Okay, so this is a cyclic construction relative to those two aces that we're keeping track of or want to keep together. Once you know it's cyclic, you have a Charlier shuffle that won't hurt a cyclic construction or random cutting. Now, if you do another alternate Klondike, it takes you here to a mirrored structure, something like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. My videos are always too long because I explain too much. Okay, so this is going to be mirrored now relative to the aces. So from the center, so the black ace is one from kind of the bottom of the packet. The red ace is one from the top. They're in a mirrored relationship. If you have a packet like that or cards that are in a mirrored relationship, you have something called the stay stack principle that gives you hundreds of different ways of mixing this little packet and not undermining the fact that it has this structure here, that it's mirrored. Okay. Now I only did a left-right shuffle. We could have done an even or odd up jog. We could have done a pharaoh. There's a whole bunch of things. We could have dealt out into 4 piles, random stacking from left to right, right to left, or leapfrog. So I'll add a link in the description below to the stay stack principle that will kind of teach you about that. And then if you perform one more alternate Klondike, so just left, right, left, right, random stack, it's back to the way it was as far as, oh wow, we even got all the way back. This is serendipity, by the way. It got all the way back to an AMP, where taken as pairs, the cards are, quote, related. Here's our special pair of aces, okay? Now, a shuffle that preserves an AMP is a Bessie 2-2. And it's pretty easy to see why, because you're going to take 1, 2 from the top, so that pair is still together. 1, 2 from the bottom, that bottom pair is still together. 1, 2, that pair is together, and then the bottom 2, that pair is together. And then from there, I just did a final alternate Klondike, left, right with random stacking, maybe left on right. It's back to a cyclic construction now. Okay, so it looks like the aces are in the second position of their respective cycles. You can Charlier shuffle this as many times as you like, or more importantly, just have the spectator randomly cut it at any location. That really will give them the sense of, okay, that cut is going to make all the difference in the world. Well, in some ways it does, but it doesn't change the neighbors of each card. Okay? So it is cyclic. And then from there, since it looks like this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, if you just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you'll be putting together the very pairs that you started with at the beginning of all of this. And then you just look for your little mark here. There it is. So I know that that is the ace of clubs. So you bring this out and go, oh, prediction cards. How and what sense are these prediction cards? And then just come up, just come up with your own narrative. So this is kind of interesting. These are all black. Those are red. And you go, well, I don't see how these relate to that one in any way. Maybe this last pair will save us. Oh, I would say they saved us indeed. Look at that, the other two aces. Excellent work, And then go ahead and congratulate the spectator for a wonderful set of choices that in the end made no difference to the finale of this routine. Okay, so just remember that this will work for a multiple of 4 cards, and it's a wonderful shuffle because of this unique property. In fact, if you want to just remember, it goes clockwise in terms of its movement of these structures from 2 cycles mirrored to AMPs back to 2 cycles. Okay, well, thank you for watching, and take a look at other videos on the Absolute Math Magic channel.